promises kept. Now, I am honored to introduce to you a man, a trailblazer in his own right. Let's stand and give it up to our president, Dr. Mohammed Irfaan Ali. Let me hear you.
Thank you, Erica. Let's give Erica a big round of applause. All right, please have your seats. My respected elders, community leaders, brothers and sisters, young people, children. Today, I come before you once more humbled by your love, your commitment, your strength of character, your activism, and your commitment that kept democracy and the rule of law alive in this country. Once again, I see many faces here who walked with us, who guarded the ballot box, who guarded outside to ensure no one tampered with those containers. I see many faces who walked with us from Lenora to the Demerara Harbor Bridge when the police stopped us from going over. Thousands of us in white to get the government to respect the rule of law and to respect and honor the no confidence motion. I see here many faces that marched with us in Wales as we stood up guard on the public road in the interest of the sugar workers. And I want to take a moment to salute our regional leaders, our community leaders, our cabinet, and all the leaders across our country in this party who work relentlessly every single day to ensure that they represent the interests of our people, all our people. Let me say this, very importantly, we are not seasonal. The People's Progressive Party has been and will continue to be your constant partner, your constant friend, your constant family in the good times, in the bad times, in the sunny days, and in the rainy days. And I do not say that lightly. Right around this platform, this table here, when I first engaged Erica, she was introduced to me by Angie. And Erica was a medical doctor. She was basically ridiculed by members of our community. But she stood with us. She stood for principles. She walked with us, and she continued to do so. During COVID, no one wanted to risk their lives. None. It is the People's Progressive Party that started the mass drive, that walked the markets, that stood up at the street corner. We were not in government, but all of us, many of you here, remember, we walk house to house and deliver masks to save life, risking our own lives. And yes, we paid dear for that too, because we lost some good comrades to COVID, giving hampers and masks. Majid Hussein, one such comrade. We are not fair weather friends, and it is during those periods that I first made contact with Tandy. I call her Tandy, Tandai, anything goes right now. But she reached out to be a part of something positive, to save the lives of people when we had that mass distribution across the country. We didn't have resources, we were not in government, but we had the will. The party bought material, bought thread, And we got ordinary Guyanese to sow the churches, the temples, the mosques. Because we cared. In 1 week, we produced more than 450,000 cloth masks across this country. How easy it is to forget these things. My friends, during opposition, Priyamanichan is a lawyer. She abandoned her practice and came permanently as the leader of the opposition office to work and fight and represent people. It was in opposition that Indar left his job as a chief financial officer in the private sector to join the struggle for freedom and democracy. It was in opposition that all of you, many comrades here, we used to come by Demerara and walk the communities. It is this party and many of you who contributed a pint dal, a pint black beans, cassava, pigeon peas. You remember that? It was during a time when we had oil in this country under the AP and UAFC government that we were pooling together food to give people who were sent home by a merciless gang. How easily can we forget that? How easily can we forget that? We must be conscious. If we lose consciousness in our society, we will lose every single thing that we stand for. You know, as I arrived in the country last night and this morning, a few media houses called me. And they asked me a question about the rule of law in relation to GRA and one Azruddin Mohammed. I'll just give you an example. When we came in government for the first year and a half, the very people who are now saying they're standing up with him, they accused me as president of being too close to the Mohammeds. You remember that? They spread lies and they tell tales on the very social media. You remember that? But that is the thing with the rule of law. The GRA made it very clear that there is something called post-audit. And they made it clear that our international partners, International Tax Agency, were working with them. And they have a duty and responsibility when information comes before them to act in the interest of the rule of law, to act in the interest of the country. We don't deny anyone their rights. You can go to court and challenge it. How that is victimization by the government. But it suits a particular narrative. It suits a narrative. You know, everybody can say what they want to say about the PPP and how they want to say it. But from the time the PPP defends itself, when the General Secretary goes out there on Thursday and defends our record, they have a problem with it. But the time has come when we will not sit by and allow our record to be tarnished, allow our record to be undefended. because it is our record. It is our work. It is our hard work in the PPP and those forces that support the rule of law that kept democracy alive in this country, that kept the rule of law alive, that kept sugar alive, that kept rice alive, that kept our farmers alive. Make no mistake, it is the People's Progressive Party civic legacy. And you want to talk about national unity? Let me be very clear. We are 1,000,000% committed to national unity. There is no way we're going to allow the future of this country to be divided, segmented, or taken apart by any individual or group. United and strong, we are going to deliver the most prosperous Guyana to every single person. Not united by ignorance, not united by opportunism, not united by false promises, united by a clear vision and strategy that look towards the development of all of Guyana. That is what is important. My friends, how easy it is to forget that not so long ago, this government removed more than 250 taxes and license fees that was applied on you by the last government when they had oil. It was the last government when they had oil that had less than 30% medical supplies and medicine availability in the West Dam Hospital and all other hospital and health centers across this region. Less than 30% of the medical supplies was available. Whilst we still have challenges, today we have what? Over 90% availability in the clinics in the West Dam Hospital. Don't ever take that for granted. We are building the new hospital. When I said we will build the bridge, they said we are fools. It will never happen. When we said that we will deliver 50,000 jobs, the headline was madness. Today we are begging people to take some of the jobs. When we said 50,000 house lots, they said we are crazy people. Today we are delivering beyond 50,000 house lots. When they put taxes on water and electricity, we removed it. When they took away the subsidy for pensioners, we gave it back. So many examples I have here. When we said universal secondary education, they said we are lying. When we said free education, they said it will never happen. These are the facts. When we said we'll double old age pension, what did they say? It will never happen. When we said that we will increase the Because We Care grant for our children, they said we were only saying that we don't have money. Remember that? They said we don't have money. We can't afford it. It's not sustainable. But today, what have we shown them? It is more than sustainable. We have given more than the $50,000. And let me be very clear. It will continue to go up. Old age pension, subsidies, the Because We Care grant, the grants, the support to communities will only keep going up, 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 up. Imagine when we give out, what was the last grant we gave out? The newborn grant. One of them, the MPs on the opposite side, Ask where is the socioeconomic analysis to justify giving them the grant? They don't need a socioeconomic study to send home directly tens of thousands of workers and indirectly hamper the earning of more than 30,000 families, but they need a socioeconomic study to give mothers and newborn children $100,000. What that tells you, don't take that lightly. That tells you about a philosophy that we must be careful of. You don't need money to do what is right. You don't need money to respect a no confidence motion that is passed against you. You don't need money to respect the outcome and the will of the people. One of the most important things we have in life is our dignity. When we lose our dignity individually or as a family or collectively or as a nation, we lose everything. And one of the most important things you have that represents your dignity as a citizen is your vote. Because when you vote, it's not only about X. It is about you placing your confidence in someone, in some political party. It's about you giving your children putting your children's future in the hands of that political party, that vision, that president. Is about you trusting them. It is about your dignity. And in 2020, they were willing to take away the dignity of every single Guyanese. These are not things we must take lightly. And we went beyond the manifesto. From August 1st, you will cross the Demerara Bridge free of cost. And instead of they saying thank you, again they said, what study did you do to justify this? Well, let me give them some things. Many more things will come for the people, and once it's for the people and make their lives better, you ain't getting no study. The study is a betterment in the life of the people. The only study we can study is studying how to improve your life, how to make your life better, how to make your children's life better. Let them study me and we and run mad. But we can concentrate on studying for your future. You know, I just came back from Silicon Valley. Y'all remember? This government, a pack of mad people. Oh, the president, I done smart. This government that brought the Berkeley Innovation Award to Guyana. And look at those who got it before. But guess what? We didn't get it by guesswork. We get it because of the vision we are articulating on the international community. Rain don't bother us. Rain keep us going. But let me say this, comrades. My friends, when we outline the vision of Guyana to some of the most important CEOs, let me give you all some time. Come under the tent. We are one big family. Come close. Let the warmth of the love of the People's Progressive Party keep us going beyond the storm. Y'all can go close to cage 2, you know. Don't bother, you can get the blackout. So my friends, as I'm on Cash, let me give you another example. When they were in government, the cost of fuel came down at the lowest. They had savings in GPL, tens of billions of dollars in savings because of the cost of fuel that came down. They did not reduce their electricity costs with that saving. They did not even spend any on the improvement of the transmission line. Nothing on maintenance. It is this government that I had to come back to spend and ensure that we keep the power on, because they left us a mess that we had to come back and fix. These things are not about money. These things are about a philosophy. These things are about a vision. These things must not be taken for granted. And let me give you some other examples. You hearing me at the back? So let us take a few examples of how life is changing. Let us wait 5 minutes. We want everybody to come in. Let's make space. You can come in front here too, don't worry. This is who we are, resilience. We must weather any storm. I was telling you that as we outline the vision for Guyana 2030, one of the leading professors, he asked me, he said, this is a very ambitious vision. How are you going to make it, how are you going to get it done? When you look at Silica City and so on, how are you going to get it done in 5 years? Because it's a 2030 vision. And I said to him, we don't have 5 years. The next storm will be 10 years. And you may ask, how the next storm will be 10 years? Well, we intend to work 24 hours, so 5 years will become 10 years. Our intention is to work day and night because we have no other choice. And I say we have no other choice because the pace at which the world is moving, if we don't catch up and plan ahead of it, we will never be competitive. You can have all the wealth, but you will not be able to be competitive. And that is what, when prayer and education is now talking about the Guyana Digital School, that is the vision of the world. 5 years from now, 4 years from now, but we are doing it today. Guyana is taking the leadership today. Paul Chung worrying about AI, artificial intelligence, and the world already thinking about quantum, the next generation. That is, you have to be in tune. Let me give you some examples. And let me say this. The next phase of Silica City, we have people in the diaspora. They want to know how you're going to be involved. Well, the second phase will be opened up within 2 weeks, Colin. And that second phase will be for diaspora investment. You can come there, build your mall, build your apartment complex, and you will have the opportunity to own your own homes in the next phase of Silica City. That is the diaspora phase. And that phase will be launched in 2 weeks. You know, I see an auntie, and I don't identify her, but there's an auntie sitting in front here. And as the ministers were talking, she said, "Me not get nothing, man. Me not get nothing. Me not get nothing. Me not get nothing." No, but she made a very important point in mumbling those words. So I decided to investigate who is this auntie. And this auntie is a good Guyanese. But she lives in Canada. And she does visit Guyana. So of course, she's not as connected with the challenges and what we have to overcome and some of the things. But these are some of the quiet murmurs that we have to avoid. But I took the opportunity as president to recognize that chatter and to address it quietly. I say this to say exactly what the regional chairman said. All of us, we have that responsibility to correct these little chatters wherever they are. Because you know the truth. You know the reality. You know the land rates and land taxes. Listen, 5 years ago, everybody in Canal and Wales, Guyana, what were they looking to do? Sell out. At what price? Low prices. Today, check the price. Nobody wants to sell now. And who wants to sell, you can't buy. They men selling in US dollars now. That is not accidental. It is not accidental that 5 years ago, everybody wanted to move out of Wales, Bell West. Everybody wanted to go. The place became a ghost town. And today, it is a rising giant in the development of Guyana. I hear the next uncle murmuring, that's true, that's true. It is true. And we must tell the story. It is our collective and individual responsibility to tell the story. Let me give some other examples. When we said, and let me tell you this, in the program we have this year, don't worry, complain about roads and drains. They are all in the program. Roads, drains, machine for our farmers, machine for every NDC, garbage truck for every NDC, lights for every single electric pole in the road. They are all in the program. You don't have to ask that. We have said that this will be done and this will be done. But let me say this. You remember when you were campaigning, we said we want people to retire in dignity. And I want you to listen carefully, because you too have to make some changes. When we said retirement in dignity, what did we mean? We recognized there were disparities in the system. So let me take the example of an 8th grade head teacher that is retiring today. That teacher will retire today with a pension of over $200,000 at 55 years. At 60 years, they will get the highest NIS pension. That's another $168,000. That takes it to about $382,000 at 60. And then at 65, they have old age pension, which today, I'm giving you today rates, you know, is $423,000 at 65. Isn't that retirement in dignity? Retiring with more than $2,100 US per month as your pension at 65. That is why people are going to come back. That is why people are going to understand the vision. Those teachers who left here, many of them, I went to teach in Botswana and some other places, Qatar or wherever. They would not get a pension. Bahamas, they will not get a pension. This is what we meant when we said retirement in dignity. And this is at today's rate. I am putting the 8% for this area too. Recently, I got a number of letters. And I said to the Commissioner of Police that the system must change. First of all, one of the things we did for our police was that we adjusted the scale. So when you look at the adjustment in the scale, take a constable for example. In the last 4 years, 4 years, well, 5 years with this year, when you include this year increase, they will have increases of more than 50% in their salaries. With adjustment, because I said publicly that no constable must be paid less than $133,000 per month. That was it, right? $133,000, Commander? So, what does that mean for the constable? We didn't stop there. We have constables who will work for 30 years and remain a constable. Who work for 25 years and remain a constable. So their pension was calculated at the salary of the constable. And I found this to be wrong. And I said to the commissioner to work on a plan that any police with a clean record, with more than 10 years service, who is still a constable, must move to a corporal. And every police with more than 15 years unblemished service as a corporal must move to sergeant. And most people retire sergeant, right? Officers. More than 50. We're incentivizing service. This is what leads to dignity in retirement. And I said any police with more than 22 years service unblemished record must be at the level of an inspector. So in the future, given this direction, no police working with an unblemished record for more than 22 years will retire as less with a pension calculated at less than that of an inspector's salary. That is retirement in dignity. And the same thing we're taking across the board. So let us take today a new constable. And I'm not even going to teachers, because outside of the salary increase, let me tell you, the debunching issues and the allowance when we came into office that we had to fix. People take these things for granted. I hope our teachers remember. So constable, a new constable today, now joining the work, will start with the increase this year of a salary close to $150,000. Can you imagine that? 5 years ago, even our assistant, maybe, what was it rank after the inspector? The chief inspector that used to work there. Just 4 years ago, that was not even the salary of the chief inspector. Today the constable is starting at that. What more? Those are just two examples. I can give many more examples of what we have been doing. We walked with you in floods. Let me remind you that in the last 4 years, this government has achieved all that we've achieved with 2 years of COVID. 4 major floods, 1 major drought, and many disturbances by the opposition. Remember what they tried to do in Region 5? With the threat from Venezuela on our backs, with the worst food crisis in the world, with a global financial collapse, with some of the highest oil prices that we have to import. We kept the taxes at zero, and whilst oil prices at the pump is going up, it is coming down here in Guyana. That is because of a caring government. We did all that we had to do under these circumstances, and were successful under these circumstances. Now I said something. So the pension today, at the highest rate for somebody who contributed to NIS and got the highest contribution, is $168,000. But we recognize that many farmers, bus drivers, conductors, casual workers, and seasonal workers are not registering on the NIS program. So they are not allowing themselves to benefit from this pension. So in the next 5 years, we are going to come up with a plan to incentivize, to help these categories of workers to go on the system and get registered so they will qualify, and when they get to 60, they will benefit from this pension. We are going to find an avenue to help you to get on the system. That is what we are about. So that all our farmers, we have to create an enabling environment so that you will get on the system. So you too will benefit from this pension. And how do we do this? We have to do this also by creating opportunities to build and grow wealth. And how are we going to create those opportunities to build and grow wealth? We are going to identify a series of small, medium, and large-scale projects here in Guyana. And we are going to co-invest from the government with Guyanese. We are going to allow you to invest your money here and in the diaspora in these projects that will give you much, much more returns than you're getting now. So the new fertilizer plant that will come for national security, everybody will have a chance to invest in that. The National Gas Company must provide opportunity for every single Guyanese. And we are not going to depend on you to find a way. We are going to invest in financial literacy. We're going to educate the population by village, by street, by community. So as we increase the grants that will come to you, the 100,000 grant, as we increase it, you must see the importance of investing it to build prosperity in your future and build more wealth from those investments. That is what we want. So we're going to create the mechanism, and that is a big task before us. In the next 5 years, is to build and create these opportunities that will generate wealth at the individual, household, community, region, and national level, so that there will be an evenness in the growth. We have a very clear and defined strategy. We have great clarity in what we want to do. Some of this, look at Canal for example. For us to be successful, we have to help the farmers. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've been helping with DNI. But DNI is still the basic level of support. For us to be resilient and sustainable in agriculture here, we have to invest in the polders, in storage facility, cold storage facility, packing facility, processing facility and give you high-tech agriculture solutions that would mitigate against climate challenges like flooding, excessive drought season, all of these things. So already we are developing a plan that would support the modernization and technological transformation of food production here in the polders. We must not depend on a private company who we are buying juice from or anything to buy your fruits anymore. With the cost of electricity coming down, we must take the excess fruit, establishing a fair market price, pulp those fruit, that fruit right here, make it into concentrate, add vitamin fortification, store, and use it back in our system and the rest of the Caribbean. That is what is going to take us to the next level. Adding value, creating value. Look at what is happening with eggs around the world. Developed countries rationing it. What is our plan? Our plan is to create a regional hatching infrastructure. So all our hatching eggs that we import now, more than 60 million eggs annually, hatching eggs. We'll get it right here and then expand into the regional market. When we spoke about the corn and soya, they doubted us. Look what's happening now. Thousands of acres of corn and soya. The same thing with black eye and red beans. Agri-innovation is going to be an important aspect of the development strategy. We're going to use technology in every single aspect of national life. So we have to ensure we train our people and give them access to that technology. Before the end of this year, on your device that you have in your hand, and those who don't have device, you'll have to get your device. You will be able to sit in your home here in Canal and pay for your chemical or your fertilizer in Georgetown using your own device. You will save the transportation time. You will save productivity time. You will be interconnected with the extension officers at Ministry of Agriculture from your phone. So if you have a question, and they will be proactively sending you information on weather, information on diseases, information on things to look out for. That's the future we're heading into. Priya just gave out a box. What's the name of the box? The digital box. That your children now can put in your home. And 24/7. You're in a learning environment. We are looking at the hologram technology to deliver mathematics. So that your children can walk up the screen and ask an AI robot how to solve this equation. And without any attitude, it will teach the child how to solve the equation. Because attitude is important, right? You ain't gotta worry with who wake up in what mood. That is where the world is going, and we are going ahead. We are not here to have a pool party. That ignorance is not for us. We are busy strategizing on the future. We are busy strategizing on the strategies that will enable us to be ahead of the competition, enable your children to function effectively in the new world. I don't know how many of you would have heard what Rubio said. Not a concussion road. Because that road is under construction, yes, by the Chinese, from Temeri to Craig. He said some countries go through change. Some countries go through development, but Guyana is going through transformation. And he went on to say that Guyana has the right leadership at the right time to enable that transformation. We are working with our international partners to enforce our security system, to enforce the rule of law, because our society must be embedded in the rule of law. Next 5 years, we'll see transformation in every single education. We are not just building an education hub to meet our national needs. We want children from the Caribbean and around the world to come to Guyana as an education destination, making it part of the economic expansion of the country. We are now discussing with major tech giants partnership on how we're going to convert the IAST, the Institute of Applied Science and Technology, into a world innovation hub where we will get startups to come here, to experiment here, to build the next generation of technology from Guyana with investment from the private sector and the government here in Guyana. That is the future we are talking about. Young people, this is exciting things. This is a wave of excitement. In January next year, mid-January next year, we will have the Berkeley Guyana NASA Innovations Forum in Guyana. In Guyana. These were things we dreamt of in the past. These are things we fantasize about looking on television. A rush of emotions went through me as I walked into the NASA Center. Walk into the Google X Innovation Room, knowing that these are things that we wished that is upon us now, that is searching for us as a nation, that is reaching for us as a nation. This is not the time to risk any of these things with the seasonal opportunists who comes in every shape and form, in different names, in different teams. They are all but the same. All but the same. Make no mistake. Every force lined up against the People's Progressive Party is a force against progress, is a force against development, is a force against dignity, is a force against democracy, is a force against the rule of law. Make no mistake about it. I said it before and I'll say it now. If you support the PPP, you support us for our vision, our principles, and our values. That is why I'm taking time going through our vision. You don't support us to defend you when you want to do wrong, or defend you against the rule of law. Can you imagine the world that we live in if that is what drives support? Where will be humanity? Where will be decency? Where will be the rule of law? The nastiest of things they've already said and will continue to say about me, members of the cabinet, and the PPP. You think I bother with them? You think I bother with them? What is the hate crime against the General Secretary of the PPP by these people? You know what's his crime? His strong and relentless defense of the PPP. Don't bother with all the nonsense. His only crime is his relentless defense of the record of the People's Progressive Party Civic. Let me be very clear. We are building a united Guyana. And we are doing so with a united party. We don't hustle for leadership. Look, the character of a party is exposed by the behavior among each other. Their only priority right now is who can be leader. Not the vision, not the people, not the team, but who will be leader? Who will be leader? Who will be leader, man? That's their priority. We went through a presidential primary, well, not primary, the selection of our presidential candidate through a process. We went through a beautiful Congress, the largest Congress ever in the history of the country. All you see coming out of the Congress is development plans, Michael Jackson and all of them things. When they have Congress, we'll see chair fly, bullet fly, gun fly, helmet fly. There is no love. If you can't share love among yourself, we're going to share it with the country by. These are things that are real, that we must think about. Must think about, go back and look at the photos. When we were fighting, who was there? Who was there? We are building a country in which you will have the best health care. The best health care that will match any other health care system in the world. We are already starting it. Your new hospital is going up. The one at the Canal will finish. Whilst they are fussing and fighting, you know what we are doing? Discussing with global providers. Discussing to see how we can find the nurses, the specialized doctors, the equipment to come in to ensure when those hospitals are open, we have the right complement of staff to give you the service. That is what we are doing. That is what we are doing. Infrastructure. From day one, we said that the task was to get the traffic to move. Imagine if we did not have those concrete highways. What would be the problem now? How are you going to get to work? We said from day one, we have to use a technology and building method that will open up the way, and then we'll come with the final phase of pavement when we are finished. Didn't we say that from the inception? Imagine your life in the future. What Wales development will be like. Thousands of jobs will be here. The 4-lane road going to Del Conte, connecting to Bartica, going back on the Sand Hill Road, going to Temeri, coming all the way to Wales. Those are no longer dreams and aspirations. Those are active plans under implementation. Thomas got to train hundreds of pilots and captains and persons to work in the marine sector. Tandai now on the International Council for the Maritime Industry. Those are not things that happen by accident. Those are the investments you don't see. In a couple months from now, when you can walk out to the region and renew your driver's license as if you're got the ATM machine, that is what we're doing. You don't have to go join a line. You take your driver's license, your digital payment, you go to a kiosk, just like if you're going to get a soda, and you renew your driver's license. That is the future we're building for you. We tired hearing about people complaining about traffic police. When they stop you, what you want, what they want, who we want. We are now investing in the electronic system. These things are not accidental. When one ferry was enough for Essequibo, how much trip you got per day now? You have 3 trips per boat now, and we have 2 boats, and we're looking for the 3rd boat for Essequibo. If Essequibo was not developing, why people go in? It's simple analysis. Until you not see nothing more every day, you see people buy car. You not see nothing more every single day, your house value go up. Don't worry, I got you, I got you. 100%. So, education, health, infrastructure, technology, food security. And let me say this. We are not only thinking about grants to reduce inequality and create opportunity. There's something called co-investment. The government will be co-investing with you in the creation of opportunities. But first, we have to invest in the technology to build those opportunities. So when we talk about nearshoring, and now we're going to expand it for the public servants, it's how the police officer, when they're off their shift, can be at home and through a nearshoring job earn additional money because of the investment we'll place in them in training. The certification they will get through training. This is the future. Not even telling you about tourism expansion, housing expansion, jobs, wealth creation, co-financing, grant for financial literacy, world-class health, education, infrastructure, agri-tech, investing in your children's future. That is what we want. That is what we're about. That is the vision that we're going after. Silica City. A city that will be built for 15,000 families. It's not only a city, it's a way of life. It's going to be a way of life. It's going to extend life expectancy naturally because of the infrastructure and way in which a city will be built. Focusing on mental health, wellness, technology, self-sufficiency. This is what we're building. Sometimes it's hard to understand it when you live in it every day. The only way you can appreciate it when you live in it every day is if you have the passion for it. So every single time we go out, I go out, and I see a new road, I fall in love again with the development. But we have some people in the country, when they see a new road, another road. the passion. But when you listen from the persons who are coming from outside and seeing it for the first time and describing Guyana as the largest construction zone in the world, and these are global leaders, some of the best thinkers and leaders in the world describing Guyana as the place to be, you have a better appreciation for your blessing. So, I know we have gone on for a very long time already. But our message is filled with so much substance that we can speak all day about the development. I don't need somebody back to shout, come write down your name. What I need, and what our leaders are doing, is walking every single day with the people, for the people, by the people. Now this might be a very cruel thing to say, but let me tell you. This cabinet were banned from vacation for almost the last 5 years. You know, my own example. I came in last night. This morning, my son came to the step and he said to me, Dad, you're not spending any time with me, you're going with the people again? But I took 10 minutes to explain to him why going with the people is like spending time with him. Because his future depends on the people. Like every other child here. When I call my cabinet, my regional leaders, and not only cabinet, our regional leaders, including Das and all of them, to go out on Pagwa morning, Eid morning, the eve of Eid, the eve of Pagwa, on Christmas Day, on New Year's Day, during Nowrat. When I call them and tell them, I want you with the people in the temples, going and visit people, give up your time with your family, they do it without asking a question. They do it for the love of the people. Nirmala never come to me one day and say, oh, I'm going and helping with all this grant, give me an additional grant. Yankana, in opposition, used to bring produce from his own farm to distribute to poor people. No, they don't have billions of dollars. But they have something that is called political consciousness, human consciousness, and humanity. They had absolute love for the people. And they have that love. Let me be very clear. This team that I'm privileged to lead has made tremendous sacrifices for this country. And I'm very proud of the team. So they can call them what they want to call them. I know the quality we have. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless our department. And before I leave, no, please have your seat. I'm not leaving. Since we came to office, on these community outreaches, from the office of the president alone, I'm not telling what pray them do, they must thousands they also do. We have handled more than 15,000, more than 20,000 personal problems for people across this country. More than 20, how much? Almost 24,000. 24,000 individual files were opened by this team, supported by all the different sectors, to deal with your, that is how we take your life and your development. This is not 25,000 community. These are 25,000 persons that we service directly. Today they're here again. The full team, they will be under this tent. Where? They have D&I, education, health. And look, come. Water. They're not coming at no junior level. This is the head of GPL. On a Sunday. You can keep him if you want to. He come from Canada too. Y'all up and stand by Canada. We can deal with the tariff just now too. Yeah, so let me say this. The team will be there to look at all the personal issues. All the poor auntie, if you're up and stand by, talk to them over there. Right? And let me say this too. Any issue, drainage, personal, I already said to you, we have already committed to doing all the community stuff. So the personal issues go over there, and all the community issues, we want you to come forward, and we will listen to those issues. Before I close, I want to urge the men in our gathering to be responsible men. To work with us, work with your families, your mothers, your sisters, in ending domestic violence. We can't build a future with domestic violence. I want the men in our responsibility to take more leadership in helping our children who are not attending schools. You don't have to be a parent to give parental guidance. Let us once again reach deep in our heart and take community leadership for the growing of our children, for the advancement of our children, and for the development of our children. Every child that excels in our home, our community, our neighborhood is a child that excels for our country. Let us recommit ourselves. I'm speaking particularly to the men today, including myself, to do more, to do better, and to be the positive change that we want in our society. I thank you and God bless you.